So I'm not intending to speak too long tonight about our proposed increase of 2.99% for a Band D property, especially in the light of the reports we've previously discussed, especially on the subject matter of commercialisation. I hope members will share my view that the recommendations put forward by Karen and team should be supported. As before, and Councillor Ratcliffe already alluded to this, they put a lot of hard work into the preparation of all the important information and detail on behalf of us all. And I'd like to thank her and of course her colleagues and everyone really in the team that have done all the hard work behind the scenes. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush. The truth is that we're expected to increase our council tax bill by 2.99%. Everything that has been hurled at us by the government says just that. Particularly the reduction in grant funding and the reduction on the amount we're allowed to spend. Unfortunately, and I take no pride in this, there will be the third increase in 8 years, because for 5 years prior to 2016-17 we actually froze council tax, which was not a mean achievement, but we actually had an incentive to do that at the time. Some I'm sure will recall when the government, Eric Pickles in particular, were sort of encouraging us to freeze council tax. The inflation rate and cost of providing services over that 8-year period bears no comparison to this modest request. It only goes to prove that we have worked hard to reduce costs and make savings in many ways, as well as increasing income to help balance the books. But clearly we cannot ignore the significant changes which have led us to seek an increase this year, although it is not very bad news. Paragraph 2.3 of the report mentions some of these, and they include the 11% reduction in settlement funding assessment. On the plus side, an increase of 79,000 in the Rural Services Delivery Grant, up from 398,000, thanks to the hard work of SPARS and DCN and the LGA, but then of course it's almost cancelled out by the loss of transition grant in the sum of 77,000, so they give with one hand and take us on the other. And the other sort of significant item is a large reduction in the new homes bonus of £308,000. Now, I've not been afraid from time to time to criticise governments of all political colours when they have not treated district councils fairly or ignored the extra cost of providing services in vast rural areas like ours. Now, those of you who have been to the forum meetings and seen Karen's presentation will have seen a chart that makes it quite clear that rural authorities as a whole are significantly worse treated in terms of funding than urban authorities. And why is that? Actually nobody really knows the answer, because I think we do know that rural authorities do have additional costs to face. Emptying the bins is a far more complicated affair than just running up and down a town and with houses on either side. I think we all know that. So I think our membership of SPARS and other organisations is absolutely vital. Karen makes mention of that in the last item of the agenda. So we continue to lobby the government and make it clear to our Member of Parliament that rural areas like ours need to be properly recognised as extra costs are incurred. So hopefully if members agree that latter report on fair funding, that will definitely form part of our representations. And we can't do this alone. We can only act as a collective body. With respect, I don't think anybody's going to take much notice of Derbyshire Dales District Council jumping up and down about lack of funding. We've got to be doing it for all rural authorities, and that's the best way forward. And we know that the elephants in the room as far as funding from local government as a whole are concerned are still this whole cost of social care. And we made it clear from time to time that social care should not be funded by taking from one tier and giving it to the other. Business rate retention needs to ensure that rural districts are treated fairly, and it does not lead to more going to the upper tier or other areas at our expense. That's something we've yet to see how that's going to pan out as to whether additional monies will be earned through Derbyshire being a pilot scheme. I hope it will. It certainly looks favourable, as paragraph 4.2 anticipates. But there is no room for complacency, as current reports make clear. We're very conscious that the amount we receive in future years continues on its downward trend. This means all the effort we have put into finding savings must of necessity continue in earnest. We still need to ask ourselves those fundamental questions. Do we need to provide this service at all? Can it be provided better by others? Hopefully Ash is going to come up with an answer for that later in the week, or later in the month rather, on leisure. Can we improve it ourselves? And can we work in partnership with others to provide this service? So those are the fundamental questions we ask ourselves and must continue to ask ourselves. And of course we will be discussing the whole subject matter of public conveniences on Thursday and again later, and the issue of discretionary rate relief, which I'm sure will make an interesting debate. The ongoing reviews have continued to ask these questions, and we will need to continue to do so. And the leisure review puts that into very sharp focus, as it is our cost list and, as Matt Ratcliffe's already observed, the largest non-statutory service. It's not one we're obliged to provide, but one I think we've always prided ourselves on providing, and I hope that what comes will be welcome. The reports before you set out the future financial position of the Council very clearly, and I consider we're all very familiar with what we have to do. I would, however, wish to thank the staff for what they've done, what they're doing on our behalf to achieve these objectives. Councillor Catt and I had the privilege of going to a core briefing session this afternoon, and I've been to one of those for many years. There were 35 staff in the room. I wouldn't like to say they'd asked lots of questions. They did until Councillor Catt provoked one or two of them to, they wanted to know what councillors did. Now, I'll leave that challenge with all my colleagues, how they might have answered that question. I'm not going to answer it tonight. I think we all know what we do, but it was a very interesting session and well worthwhile being part of. From that aside, we know the public expect more and want us to maintain the excellent level of services we provide, and we will do our best to continue to do so. But the expectation of further grant reductions and other changes that Clarence mentioned in the report means that we will always have to continue to watch that very carefully. Right, and that would be depressing. Because I think we need to sort of look at some of the positive things we've achieved. I said to the staff this afternoon that we seem to have spent the last 10, 15, 20 years, someone will help me with recollection, Councillor Smith and I, we seem to have concentrated on government cuts, and it doesn't matter which particular party was in power, it was always government cuts, and it went, particularly as far as district councils were concerned. But we've had some positives. The local plan, as we all know, has passed through its various stages. We've replaced our car parking ticket machines, and hopefully they're more efficient. A new leisure provider will be in place shortly. I think our commercialisation agenda offers many exciting opportunities, and I think many members have spoken very highly of that. So I hope we can come up smiling as far as that's concerned in due course. We have set money on one side to help our economic development objectives, and we continue to do our best to prize money out of Sheffield City Region and D2 N2. And it's hardly for me to say, as chairman of the leading group in the Peak District, that thank God that was there to help fund many of the local businesses. It has helped fund it over the last few years. Our local projects fund is up and running, and I think it is proving popular with members and their local communities, but even that will have to be reviewed in due course. As Councillor Catt and others have pointed out, we still have a very ambitious capital programme, so it's not all bad news. There are some good things out there, and I think we need to focus on that. So our aims remain, as they always have been for some time. That's to keep the Dales as one of the best performing small rural districts in England for as long as we can. That we continue to punch above our weight. That we continue to give value for money and do more for less. That seems to be the trend with all. Maintain as many frontline services as we can, but in doing so it is our duty as members to take responsibility for our decisions. We're the ones who are making this decision, and we can't hide behind that. and we have to explain that to our constituents, and I know many, or all of us, try to do that. So despite all the many challenges that face us, let's try and continue to work together to achieve these important aims. So, Chairman, I would like to move the recommendations as set out on page 29 of the agenda.